Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, so what's happening? All right, so again, this is the Most High Shabbat, and as always, we always want to mention and iterate Most High Shabbat is one of his highest high holy days. We always want to iterate that. All right. I know we look at the Passover and look at the Feast of Tabernacles and Pentecost and other high holy days, ceremonial laws of the Most High, but when you look at it from the creation, the Shabbat was one of the first high holy days created by the Most High. All right, the Most High rested on the Sabbath, right? He rested on the Sabbath. Teaches you that in Genesis. So that's like the first high holy day. That's one of the highest high holy days of the Most High. But I think that high holy day, we regard that as less. As out of all high holy days, the Sabbath, we regard that as less. So it's very important. And in true essence, I mean, back when I came to truth, we were at the Shabbat 6 o'clock in the morning. In essence, you're supposed to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're supposed to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Not 12, 12:30. All right? So what does that mean? That we're not taking it serious enough? Is that what that means? We're not looking at as if the Most High's high holy days are important enough. So what does that mean? Understand? It's very highly important, man. You know, that's why the scripture is studied to show thyself approved. And you see the Shabbat was high on the list of the Most High. The highest high holy day. All right, so, but Israel, you know, out of our hard-headedness and stubbornness, we take it lightly. And see, the problem with Israel, our people, we, I just need my, one second, need my thing here. I gotta have my thing, Zaquan. I gotta have my pointer. But so you got it? Is it good? Yeah. So the problem with Israel, we take things too lightly, and see, and this is why these things happen to us. Yesterday, where I live out in Delaware, somebody was getting shot up in the mall. See, so these different things are happening, and then they out there shopping on Christmas. Right? They're out there thinking about that Christmas holiday. So it brings these different evil spirits upon them, evil entities, demonic spirits upon them. And these things happen. You're going to hear of a lot of houses catching on fire, a lot of death. These things are going to happen. See? Because the Most High is not with us. It's an evil time. All right? And things are increasing in evil. Right? And the Most High teaches you, he said, if there's evil in the city, I'm the Lord. I did it. I did that. I killed your mother, your father, your son, and your daughter. I did that. I burnt your house up. See? Can't blame it on the devil. No, the Most High. Most High said, I created the earth, the heavens, and everything. He said, I create even evil. See? So he created the devil. So Most High said, there's evil in the city. I'm the one that did it. If there's war, the Most High did it. If there's violence, the Most High did it. All right? Your sons and daughters getting shot down, all people getting shot down in America and stuff, the Most High did that. The Most High did it. How about that? Yeah, tell her, yeah, go ahead.
Reading from the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Yeah, because when you read ancient time, not during ancient Israel, when that trumpet was blown, you were alarmed, weren't you? That's why the priest would blow the trumpet. There were different times the trumpet was blown, and one of them was when there was the enemy was on its way, and you're supposed to be alarmed and get yourself prepared for war. And so the trumpet is blown. Shall the people not be alarmed about that? Yeah, you should be. Okay, go ahead.
Shall there be evil in a city, and the Most High have not done it?
Yeah, it's the Most High. Yeah, that's the question. Did the Most High really do that? Did he just kill those people in that earthquake, in that typhoon? Did he just, you know what I'm saying? Did he just shoot down, you know, tens of thousands of people during that war? Yeah, the Most High did it. The Most High did it. The Most High does it all. All right? So, where does that leave you as a people? You got to return back to the Most High because you don't want to be taken in that number. Okay, and that number that's out there getting put to death. or because of that evil that rose up, and you were in that vicinity or in that area, maybe doing something wicked or whatever, you know, saying you don't want to be taken in that number. So this is what the Most High showed. That was it? Yeah, that was it. And let's get the one when the Most High said he created evil. What's that? Isaiah, I think it's 42. I think it's Isaiah 42 and 7. Just to show you, the Most High created all this. So during the tribulation period, when it comes, it might be Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45 and 7. Read that.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness.
Yeah, see? Most High formed the light and create darkness. We know this. Most High created the heavens, the earth, everything. Yeah. Everything that was formed. The heavens and the earth. So go ahead, Al.
I make peace and create evil.
Right. Well, how come there's no peace on earth? Most High said, I don't want any right now. Simple as that. But you going to pray for peace now? See, everything is in a time and a season. Understand? It's a time for peace and it's a time for war. Understand? It's a time for violence and bloodshed on the earth. It's a time for it. So the Most High saying there's a time for it. And you're in that time now. So whereas our people are praying for peace and stuff to come on the earth, right? The Most High said, hey, there is no peace unto the wicked, saith the Most High. There is none. So there's not going to be any peace. When is going to be peace? Until the Prince of Peace, till he return. And Yahweh Shai hasn't returned yet, so there's not going to be any peace. All right? Okay, go ahead, Doc.
I, the Most High, do all these things.
The Most High do all these things. Okay? And okay, go ahead. Was that it?
Come.
Okay, Most High do all these things. So Most High create evil and he create violence. So now, with this Christmas holiday, understand? So we're just going to bring out a little bit about something concerning the Christmas holiday. You know, that's one of the most evil holidays in this society ever perpetrated on mankind. Christmas. Christ Mass. They were celebrating his death. How about that? Christ Mass. Okay, we know it's Mashiach Yahushua, but Christ Mass is what they're teaching the people. Celebrating his death. The destruction of the Savior, all right, and the leader, and the governor, and the captain, and the commander of the nation of Israel. Understand? That's why they put him on a cross. The cross is one of the highest deaths that the Romans could perpetrate on an individual, especially on Israel. All right, you die the death of the cross. That means they wanted to just totally get you out the way, and then they stuck you up there for days and days. You didn't die right away. You didn't die right away. That's the worst death. That's the worst death you can have, is a death of the cross. Right, and you up there just slowly dying. Remember, back then we were big and strong and healthy. So you didn't die. You up there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, just up there. So, and remember, during the siege of Jerusalem, there were crosses all lined up down the middle of the street. We took them out for miles, but all people hung up there. Yeah. All right. You got to read the history. And that was us, brother. So do they got a problem hanging you on a cross now? No. Or they got a problem hanging you on a tree like they did, you know, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and even today. They still hanging Negroes. You know, you see it. They still hanging you. All right. You hear a little bit here, a little bit there. Wait a minute. Well, this man hung in his backyard all of a sudden on a tree. So they still hanging you. And that's in accordance with how they would hang us on crosses on a tree. Now they just take a rope and hang you. Understand? So, and the scripture says Yahushua was hung on the tree. All right, hung on the tree. But we know it was of course in a cross, but it was made out. The cross was made out of wood. It was hung on the tree. So it's evil, and so we're going to find out that the Mashiach Yahushua was not born on December 25th. We know that, not born on December 25th. Okay, that's a total lie. So everything that the so-called white man perpetrated, the lies and the falsehoods and everything, went totally opposite of what the scriptures are saying, because that's what he is. He's a liar. He's the devil. He went totally opposite. Okay, so we know Yahushua born in the springtime. He gonna tell you he's born in the wintertime. Understand? So all these different lies. The whole thing about the Santa Claus thing. Okay, that's an evil and wicked philosophy, man. Big fat red man coming down the chimney. That's Satan coming down there.
God.
Understand? But they make it like into some kind of Cinderella story, some kind of fantasy, some kind of loving, peaceful fantasy that you're gonna have some big fat white man come down your chimney and give you gifts. And notice how he's giving gifts. The scripture says Yahushua is coming back to give the rewards and give gifts and the rewards to the ones of us that endure to the end. But here go a big fat so-called white man coming down your chimney, see, in a red suit. In a red suit, see? So all these lies. See, take Santa Claus, right? Take the word Santa Claus and do what with it? Huh? Yeah, unscramble the letters. Unscramble the letters, and then it's like playing Scrabble, right? Unscramble the letters and form the letters again with Santa, and you get Satan. You don't have to add nothing to it. You get Satan, and that's all he did. Deceive the people with just that one word, Santa. See? Does everything backwards, right? He's not going to outright tell you it's him. It's Satan. He's not going to do that. He just scrambled the letters and said Santa. So you got Santa Claus, you got Satan's claws. You're held in Satan's grip. That's what they're doing out there. And they don't deserve death. Yeah, they're going to get it. Yeah. They're going to get it. Because every year you hear of it, right? So, for example, let's see. The Mashiach, 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Mashiach born on the Passover as opposed to Christmas. Okay. Who was born on Christmas? Who do they say in history?
Nimrod.
Yeah. Nimrod, I think more so his son, his son Tammuz. Right? That's the Babylonian history. All right. Babylonian cult history that Nimrod, his son Tammuz, born on December the 25th. Right? But not the Mashiach Yahushua. And all you gotta do, and all the people in the Christian world, all you gotta do is read the Bible. Tells you when he was born. Okay, read that for me, Al.
Reading out the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
So Yahushua is teaching us to purge out the old leaven. And the old leaven can be what? It could be the religious holidays out in the world. Purge it out of you. All right, purge it out. But our people are brought up in those traditions, so they make it so difficult. It was easy for me to purge it, to stop celebrating all that madness. It was easy. Once I found the truth, boom, didn't take nothing for me to stop. I was barely celebrating it before I came to the truth, not long. You know, once I found that I couldn't afford to give everybody a damn present, I said, nah, that's it for me, man. That's it for me. I said, wait a minute, I got all these aunts, uncles, cousins, kinfolk, everybody. I said, nah. I said, no, something's up with this. So I said, that was it for me. So I stopped before I came to the truth. So because the Spirit show you. So purge out the old leaven. And it's also talking about what? It's also talking about... No, it's also talking about, when it says purge out the old leaven, it's talking about what?
Sins.
Yeah, your old sins. Yeah. Purge it out.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Because leaven, when you add leavening, a leavening agent to, let's say, a bread or something, it does something to it. Right. So it changes it. Understand? It changes it. All right? It changes it. Okay? So the Most High saying, hey, my people are changed. This ain't my people. Something you add, something added some kind of leavening agent to you. See? Sins. You fell in temptation to your sin. You fell into your lust. That's right. And then you gravitated more towards the lust. And now you walk around with leaven in you. Sins, that's all. So you got to be cleansed up. So it said purge out. And if you notice, you have to begin to start the process yourself. Because it starts with you. It starts with the individual. It starts with the brother and the sister. You got to start the process yourself. Okay? All right? Yahushua is just coming to redeem the ones that are chosen to be redeemed of all people. Right? Of Yasha. But the cleansing process, you got to follow the blueprint and you got to start that yourself.
Right.
See? Understand? See, when you ask the Most High in your prayers, help me or guide me and direct you, the Most High going to guide you where? Right here.
God.
He's going to guide you right here. Because you got to do the work.
Right.
You have to do it, brother. Yahushua's not doing that for you. Right. You got to be getting to clean yourself.
Right.
All right? You got to, just like when you get up in the morning, don't you take a shower? Ain't nobody going to wash no big ass Negro. Ain't nobody going to wash you up, brother. Okay, yeah, when you were babies or whatever, and you grew up, you notice when you were about 7, 8, 9 years old, what did your mother do? Get in that bathroom and wash it behind.
Right. Right.
You got to start doing it yourself. Nobody's going to do it. See, you got to start. All right. So all Yahushua does is lead you to the guidebook. Let's say he leads you to the guidebook. All right, and then you got to start yourself. That's what the commandments. So that's why the scripture says the Bible is good for what? Reproof, correction, and righteousness. You want the old leaven to get out of you? Follow the guidebook. It will. And you notice it will do that for you. See, you didn't need no miracle, no spiritual power, right? To do that for you. All you do is follow the guidebook. It will clean you up.
God.
It will clean you up. Stop eating pork. And do you know you stop eating pork, all that mess comes out of you after a while?
God.
All you gotta do is stop. Yeah. All right? Stop eating all of the different foods that have the additives and all that stuff and the chemicals and stuff. And before you know it, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Right? Your skin starts to shine again. The spirit starts coming back in you. Your heart rate starts to, be more balanced. Your blood pressure is more balanced. Your blood sugar level is balanced out. All because you follow you just stop. You just stop with the old leaven. Just as simple as that. Follow the guidebook. That's all Yahushua is saying. But we don't want to follow it. See, that's our problem. Go ahead, Up.
Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump.
See, and so the old, so you may become a new lump. All right. So we're in the process of becoming a new lump. That's what we're in the process of doing. Okay, becoming a new lump in the Mashiach Yahushua. That's what the Yahushua wants. That's why he said, "Be what? Be reborn again. You must be born again in the Mashiach. You must be born again." And I'm gonna tell you, he said, this time you're gonna be born again. First, you must go through the water. But the second time, it must be through the Spirit, which is the fire. Fire can clean anything. Put anything through fire, you're going to be cleansed. Yeah. And that's, of course, as you know, Most High said, you're not going to get to the kingdom unless you go through the water of affliction. That's through that affliction. Jacob's trouble. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. All right? Jacob's trouble is coming. Okay? So, cleanse yourself and begin that process. So that Yahushua, you can become the new lump, and that's what Yahushua wants. In order for Yahushua to become the Mashiach Yahushua, he had to do what? He had to go through the water, his mother's womb, and go through right? And go through the flesh and go and be in this earth and everything, and be born and be risen up into a man from the birth up into a man and everything, and go through what it goes through, what a man goes through in the flesh. He had to go through all that. That's you're going through the waters. Now that for Yahushua to be reborn again, he had to do what? There you go. And to be reborn into the Spirit. See? Because what the Most High said, a wheat is nothing, right? Until you put it in the ground, that it may chance of what? Some other kind of flower, herb. Understand? You must put it in the ground. Right? A seed is nothing unless you do what? You got to plant it. You got to plant it. Yeah. See? So Yahushua is looking for you to be planted. See? But in the spirit of truth and righteousness and wisdom. See? And that's what you got to understand. All right? Go ahead, Up.
As ye are unleavened, for even Hamashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Right. So Yahushua wants you to become unleavened. See? That new lump. Unleavened. That's why in Passover we eat unleavened bread. Notice how the bread doesn't rise when there's no leavening agent in it?
Good.
How about that? It doesn't rise. It doesn't have all that stuff in it. Right? So the bread is a little bit more cleaner. It's pure. It's better. It's even better for you. What makes us fat and all that is we eat all this leavening stuff. Stuff with just additives and impurities. That's what makes us fat and all that, and get cholesterol and hardening of the arteries and all. See? And we don't need that. We don't need that in our lives. So another way you can, another problem is with the leavening, is that how you react to your fellow brother. See? When you have jealousy, envy, hatred, and all that other stuff towards your fellow brother, well, that's leavening too. That's leavening too. So leavening can be a whole bunch of different things, man. A whole bunch of different things, right? And it's not just what you're eating, but it's how you're thinking too. That could be leavening also. They come. All right. So read that part one more time, out.
All right. Reading out the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened, for even Hamashiach Yahushai, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Yeah, see? Hamashiach Yahushai, our Passover, right? Our Passover. So he is known, he's the only one known as the Lamb. Okay, he's the only one known as the Lamb. That's the Mashiach Yahushai, Passover, our Passover. And so when you read in the history, when we had coming out of Egypt, out of bondage, when we had our first Passover, that is alluding to the Mashiach Yahushua. Okay, that was alluding to the Mashiach Yahushua. Who we think that death angel was? All right? All right, it was alluding to Yahushua. Who we think that death angel was? All right? Killing all the firstborn. Remember, the brother just read, there's evil in the city.
All
right? The Lord does it. All right? So, when was that first Passover? We know that first Passover was in the month called Abib. All right? Get Exodus right quick, 13:1. In the month called Abib, and Abib means to spring forth. Abib means to spring forth. All right? And that's how we know that it's talking about the springtime. Go ahead, Up.
Reading out the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Yasharallah, both of man and of beast, it is mine.
I think I want you to go probably the fourth verse, I believe. Is it the fourth verse?
Yeah. Oh, it's like it.
Yeah.
Reading out the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 4. This day came ye out in the month of Abib.
Yeah, see? This day. It's telling you when we came out from bondage in Egypt. All right, the Exodus. This month we came out in the month of Abib. So when you look it up, Abib In the Hebrew, it's Abayab. It means to spring forth. All right. So Christmas comes in the wintertime. All right. And I think it comes maybe 2 or 3 days right after the winter solstice. See? So showing that people are worshiping in the winter solstice, and during an ancient Babylon, they would worship Nimrod. They would have a festival to worship Nimrod during the winter solstice. And that was, I think, December 21st, around December 21st, 22nd, the winter solstice. And a few days after that, you got Christmas. All right? So you're worshiping and praising, you know, Tammuz, Nimrod, Tammuz. All right? And Semiramis. Those were the three. The three demons that go down in history. Nimrod, the father, Tammuz, the son, and his mother wife, Semiramis. He killed his father and married his mother. Wow. That's what he was, mother wife. All right, in history. Okay, so this year you came out in the month of Bib. So that's why when you read the scriptures show you when Yahushua was born and what time period and what season and everything. Right. It doesn't have to say what day. It doesn't have to say what day. It doesn't. But if it gives the season, I'm satisfied with that. We know springtime, I'm satisfied. See, big difference from spring, from winter to spring. It's a big difference. I don't have to know the day. All right. Okay, so the Most High showing it. So when you go from there to Luke the 2nd chapter in the 40th verse. Luke the 2nd chapter in the 40th verse.
Reading out the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 40. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit.
See, the child grew, waxed strong in the spirit of the Most High. He's talking about the Mashiach. Go ahead.
Filled with wisdom, and the grace of the Most High was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
See, they went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. Okay. Where were they coming from? Yahushua grew up in the town of Galilee. Okay. Well, we visited Galilee when we went to Israel. Where Jerusalem is at, the original Jerusalem, not where they say it's at now. Where the original Jerusalem is at, where Galilee at, Galilee is way north. Okay. Way north in Israel. It takes about a good maybe hour to 2 hours to get there by driving. From Jerusalem in the area today that's called Tel Arad, all right, all the way to Galilee takes about a good 2 hours. So, but remember, Joseph and Mary had to do what? They had to come up to Jerusalem. They had to pay their taxes, right? Remember, they had to pay the taxes. Just like you got to pay taxes today. You're not getting away from that. Right? You're not getting away from that. So that's an old Roman style system to pay taxes. It didn't stop then. It's still going on till today. See? So some of the things the Roman Empire did back then, they still doing it today. You've got to pay taxes. So Joseph and Mary well, this time they would come to Jerusalem for the Passover, but still, that's a long way to go. It's a long way to go, because why were they coming to Jerusalem for the Passover? What does the scripture say? Why were they coming to Jerusalem for the Passover? Because the scriptures say what? You have to, for the 3 high holy days. You
have to congregate.
Right. You got to come up to Jerusalem, to the temple.
Convocations.
Yeah. You had to do it. So what? It took 2 hours. You have to do it. Or if it takes 5 hours, 6 or 7 hours, it doesn't matter. You have to do it. Understand? So this is what the Most High required. Did that law ever stop? That never stopped. How about that? Think about it. It never stopped. All right. Okay, we over here in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, being called niggers and spics and all kinds of proverbial names. All right? Not knowing who, but that law never stopped. There's a commandments of the Most High. That was a Greco-Roman thing. It's your birthday, man. You need a birthday party. No, you don't. You don't read anywhere in the Bible where David celebrated a birthday. Where King Josiah had a great birthday party. Where Hezekiah threw a birthday bash. You don't read that, brother. Good. Moses. It tell you when Moses was 80 years old. Did it say he had a birthday bash? No. It just said he turned 80 on, you know what I'm saying? Good. Understand? So, you know, so we didn't do that. But so that's a clue right there. He turned 12 years old when? After the custom of the feast of the Passover. That was the day of his birth. Okay? I'm not saying you can't recognize your birthday, but we didn't do like the Romans did. We didn't, birthday thing wasn't our thing. You know what I'm saying? We partied other ways. Well, I'm going to tell you, the high holidays were like pretty much parties. Pretty much parties. You figure, okay, that first day the Sabbath, but after that, it was all she wrote. It was all she wrote out. We partied. And we did remember, our feast was 7 days, 8 days long. We partied. And, you know, like even in the kingdom, you going to go to sleep? What are you going to sleep for? You ain't going to need sleep. Every now and then you may get a little twinkle of an eye. You may close your eyes for about an hour and then wake up and start the party all over again. Because you're going to be like in the kingdom. You're going to need sleep. Understand? You know, but still, we party. See? We're that type of people today, but we do it in wickedness now. Understand? So you figure after that first day, which is normally a Sabbath, you're not going to do too much partying. But after that, that's all she wrote. And for 7 days, understand? Feast of Tabernacle, 7 days. Understand? Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, 7 days. Party. You know what I'm saying? You eat, next day, you come again, eat, have a feast, party. See? All right? As long as it's done in righteousness, you party, brother. That's the type of people we're. And yeah, we danced, and we did all that stuff, huh? We sung, we danced, we did all that stuff. That's the type of people we are. That's why nations like to hang around us. Because we like to party, brother. Party over here, like to party. Israel. But now they do it in wickedness, right? Go ahead,
Verse 43. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances. And when they... Now
he was 12 years old among his kinfolk and acquaintances. What was he doing at 12? You know, these days at 12, you're not leaving from your mother's side. She'll beat you. She'll whoop you right there in the street. But Yahushua was where? You know, a couple of times she couldn't find him.
He was strong in the spirit.
Yeah, he was strong in the spirit. And he was administering, teaching people at 12.
That's right.
Teaching people the laws, the statutes, the commandments, just teaching people about the Most High. Okay? Little boy at 12 years old. Understand? That's what he was doing. Go ahead, Up.
Verse 45. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days...
After 3 days. How about that? 3 full days. Go ahead, Up.
After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors.
See? 12 years old in the midst of doctors. Teaching them. You know, that's what he was doing. He was teaching them. And the scripture says doctors. Most I put that in there to show you the caliber of the type of people he was around. Lawyers and doctors. He wasn't around no misfit, no people out there in the world. He was around, you know what I'm saying, doctors. Professional doctors and lawyers. Understand? Just teaching them. How about that, huh? See? That's the spirit Yahushua had on him. See? You can't get a 12-year-old boy now to be in that spirit now. that nigga damn near kill you. He won his Xbox, and if you mess with him, he may kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He won his PlayStation, and if you mess with him, you know what I'm saying? And you're the father. You mess with him, he'll damn near kill you, huh? These children are crazy today. They're like beasts. Don't mess with them when they in their PlayStation mode, Xbox mode, don't mess with them. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you know, clear up your room. They go, what, Mom? Forget about it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about, that's 12 years old, but you know at 20 and 25, they're like Xbox and all. 25-year-old grown man. See? So, you know, the standard and the caliber of man, when you supposedly reach manhood, is lower now. You know that? They're like children still, they're like children mentality still at 25, 26, 27, 28 years of age, 30 years of age. Children mentality. See how successful a white man was in doing that? He did that. That was through years and years of just psychologically destroying your mind with folly, things of folly. Years into years. He know what he's doing. So now what do you get a 30-year-old child? Understand? If you came up in the 60s, you would know you had to be a man when you were like 13, 14, 15 years old.
When you die.
Yeah, you had to become a man. That was your behind. And when you look at some of those brothers, you know, during the 60s and 70s, especially when I came up, and then I would, you know, be around my father's friends and so forth, and he's only, you know, 20 years old, but he looked like somebody that's been, you know, been around for like, you know, 50 years. Because you had to mature faster back then. Now you're like a damn child, and you're like 35, playing Xbox and all that stuff. Want Christmas presents underneath the tree and all that. Yeah. We got brothers skateboarding in Israel. All type of things, man. Yeah. Doing all type of things. But this is, you know, Yahushua at 12 years old, he was a man. And one particular point, his mother was looking for him. And this is when he had the disciples with him. And his mother was looking for him. And the disciple says, look, man, your mother wants you. He said, well, who is my mother? Who's my father? See? In other words, I ain't got time for mom. I'm about the Most High's business. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? I'm about the Most High's business. How about that? You ain't going to dare tell your mother that now. You ain't dare tell your mother that now. She'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? But Yahushua, but his mother Mary knew who he was. Mary knew who he was. But still, just for Yahushua to say that, look, I ain't got time for you, Mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what the Most High want me to do. See? All right? So how about that? So we got to become even more mature in the spirit. This is what Yahushua is looking for. You're going to rule the earth, brother. You have to. You can't rule the earth with your pants hanging down, with an Xbox in your bag and all that. It's just not going to work. And then you got to be an ambassador for your Yahushua. Go over to the, you know, Chinese, or go over to, you know, the Arabians, and then be an ambassador. You can't go there with an Xbox in your hand. They're not going to, you know. Even the Arabians are going to say, well, Yahushua, who are you sending me here? They're not going to respect you. That's why they don't respect you now. You know? It's not going to work. So that's why I take off the old leaven, all that madness, all that childish. He said, when I was a man, I spake as a man. But when I was a child, I did childish things. But when I become a man, I do manly things, do things like a man.
That's right.
See? So we got to stop all that, man. And now it's time to be a man. And fear, you can't think about fear. Can't think about fear. Can't do it. You can't go into war. Would David have a man of war afraid and still be in that? No. He said, all the fearful, go home. That's why he did it before the war started. If you're afraid, just go ahead. See you later. Go back home to your wife. Take care of your garden. Plant some roses. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Plant some roses or something. You know what I'm saying? Read a fairy tale. Yeah. See? Because that's what's coming. See? Go ahead, Doc.
And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
Right. So that's all I want with that. So they're showing you, this was at 12 years old when he turned 12 at the Passover. Okay, yep. And the Mashiach Yahushua turned 12 at the Passover. So you establish when is the Passover? Well, it's established that it comes in the springtime. All right, that's the beginning of the year with the Most High at springtime. All right, not the dead of the winter. So once you establish that, because you have a lot of gainsayers out there, they're going to try to tell you, you know, that they know that he was born on Christmas, December 25th. If it wasn't December 25th, then it was in October. If it wasn't October, it was January 6th. I said, where the hell they get January 6th from? They're all these different dates, right? So that's how you establish, all right, when the Mashiach, around the time the Mashiach was born, all right? But it said, you know, springtime, Passover. So we know it's in the springtime, right? And then get Luke 2, and then from the first verse, going down to about the 8th.
Come on. Reading out the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Yeah, see, they go to taxation again. See?
And
right.
This taxing was...
Okay, hold on, let me just explain something. So, just like today, they tax you, all right? The emperor today is Trump. You know what I'm saying? Wicked ass Trump. That's the emperor today. That's the Roman emperor of today. He looks like one, don't he? Like exactly like a Roman emperor. All right? But the taxing thing, that's a Roman style system. All right? That's what they do. They tax you. Then they got the income tax. They just tax you to death. All right? So even during this time, they were being taxed. And during this time, Caesar Augusta was emperor. And this is the they say he's the first emperor of Rome officially, but of course before him you had a Julius Caesar, but officially it was Augustus Caesar. He ruled from I think it was what 50. I think it was 54 BC to 14 AD, something like that. He ruled about 40 years. Okay, 40 years. All right, ruled about 40 years, something like that. All right, so so all the world was taxed. Now you're going to read, going down.
Verse 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. Verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into...
went up from Galilee, right? From Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, right? That's all right. So he had to come down to be taxed. You're talking about again, you know, maybe by car. We did it about a two-hour drive. How about that? All right, about a 2-hour drive. So of course they didn't have cars back then. All right, but they had to pay the taxes. All the areas, all the cities, all the towns, small towns, all that was taxed, just like you got it today. See? All right, Brooklyn, ain't Brooklyn taxed? Right? So, and all the little counties, everything, all taxed, just like today. Go ahead, Al.
And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem.
Okay, went up to Bethlehem. How about that? Okay, city of David. Go ahead, Al.
Because he was of the house and lineage of David.
Now, where would Bethlehem be? Where would the city of David be? In The city of David.
Man, whose phone is it?
The city of David, where would it be? Turn your phones off.
Bethlehem.
Jerusalem. Okay, in Jerusalem. Okay. So he had to make that long journey into Jerusalem to pay his taxes. Okay. Remember, now this is before the Mashiach was born. Okay. Before the Mashiach was born. Okay. Go ahead, up.
Unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David.
Ah, how about that? Joseph was of the house and lineage of David. Why did the Most High stick that in there? It's giving you a clue. Yeah, that Yahweh Shai came out of the lineage of David. All right? So where's the Immaculate Conception at? There's no Immaculate Conception. It's from the lineage of David. Joseph from the lineage of David. There's no Immaculate Conception. Why would the Most High stick that in there just like that? For what reason? I can see it, you know, but it said Joseph. See? So it's showing you, the Most High is showing that the Mashiach is from the lineage. And the Most High is saying, you know, showing you that he came out of the seed, all right, of the lineage of David. Proving it again, that's Yahweh Shai came out of the seed. He was born came out of the seed. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife.
See, his espoused wife. That's his wife. See, his espoused, it said wife, didn't it? His espoused wife. That's his wife. Understand? So it wasn't like that wasn't his wife, and all of a sudden she just appeared pregnant out of nowhere. Come on. All right? Just appeared pregnant out of nowhere. The angel said to Joseph, take Mary, thy wife. In other words, don't be afraid to show her in public and all that. He wanted to put it away privately. Because she was pregnant. Probably felt embarrassed, whatever. You know, because he didn't have a public wedding yet. He didn't do all that yet. And we had public wedding. We did all that. But sometimes you married your wife before the public wedding, right? It's still your wife, isn't it? You may get with a woman now, right? And then you may plan a wedding when?
5 years later.
2, 3, 4, 5 years later. By that time, you done had 2 children. Now, how's somebody going to say, that's not your wife, man? You didn't have a public wedding yet. How's somebody going to tell you that? That's your wife, brother. That's why the angel said, well, what's wrong with you, Joseph? Take your wife. And don't worry about nothing. Because the seed that's in her is what? Of the highest. See about that. Immaculate Conception destroyed. Or whatever that philosophy. All right? That it was a virgin birth and all that madness. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Being great with child. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
Wait a minute. See how the Most High did this? The Most High had it where they had to come up to Jerusalem to be taxed. But she was great with child. Because it had to go according to prophecy that Mary would have, that Yahweh Shai would be from where? Be born where? In Bethlehem. So the Most High had it where they had to come up, pay their taxes, and then the Most High had it where she go into labor in Bethlehem. Because why? When you go to Micah 5, just hold that real quick, it tells you. It has to go according to prophecy, right? So when you go to Micah 5, you know where it's at, right? Huh?
Yeah, let me see. Grab it.
Micah 5 and 2. Micah 5 and 2.
Let me just pass it.
Right after Jonah, between Jonah and Mary.
Yeah. Micah 5 and 2.
Reading out the book of Micah, chapter 5 and verse 2. But thou, Bethlehem.
See, but thou, Bethlehem. Man, this is prophecy. This is in Micah, right? Prophecy, the prophet Micah. Go ahead.
Ephrath, though thou be little among the thousands of Judea.
See? Little. Bethlehem. Little amongst the thousands of Judea. Go ahead.
Yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me.
See, out of thee, out of Bethlehem, shall he, talking about the Mashiach Yahushua, come forth unto me. Go ahead.
Shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel.
See, who's going to rule? The Mashiach Yahushua. Is anybody else going to rule? Be the Redeemer, be the salvation for Israel? Anybody else? No. See, if you're talking about anybody else, then you're wicked as hell. All right, you're wicked, you're a false prophet. And Yahushua did say, beware of false prophets. Didn't he say that? Yahushua is going to be the ruler. So that's why you got to begin to introduce the Mashiach Yahushua as the commander, the leader, the ruler, the redeemer, all right, of the nation of Israel. Yahushua, when you look at it, he's going to run this whole planet. This whole planet, brother. That's why Yahushua said to the disciples, the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth. But I testify all the works are evil. There's nothing you can do out in the world, worldly, that Yahushua agrees with. He said, you got to come from amongst the world and then begin to do what is right, the righteousness of the Most High. Because he said all the works are evil. So you know how people are, that they take some of their works and try to, you know what I'm saying, make it seem like justify themselves, where some of their works is okay. And now the Most High said all of it is evil. What you doing out there in the world is all evil. Okay, they're gonna celebrate Christmas, and then they justify it, say, well, it's for the kids. Oh no, it's evil. The Most High said it's evil. I don't care if you buy your kids every toy in history. Every toy at the Toys R Us. And you know, children are going to be happy getting toys. Does the Most High care about that? No. He don't care how happy they are getting toys on Christmas Day. Okay. Because it's evil. Yahushua said, I testify all those works are evil. How about that? Go ahead, up.
Whose going forth have been from old.
See, Yahushua, the Mashiach, going forth has been from old, because what? All the prophets have prophesied about the Mashiach. All of them. All the way back to Enoch, the Mashiach Yahushua. All the way back to Adam, the Mashiach Yahushua. Shem, Mashiach. Methuselah, Mashiach. See? Of course, Moses, right? Mashiach. Joshua, the Mashiach. Yahushua came to Joshua and said, Joshua, just like he did to Moses in Mount Sinai, take off the shoes. He told Joshua, the ground you stand on is holy ground. Take them off. Joshua did exactly that, bowed down. And said, the scriptures say that this is the captain of Israel. It used the word captain there. A military term. Right? And as you read the scripture says the Most High, the Lord, is a man of war. The Lord of hosts is his name. Joshua met Yahushua, and it said that's the captain of Israel. They used the military term. So it didn't say redeemer and all that, it said captain. Understand? So that's the Mashiach. So he was prophesied throughout all history. Okay? Go ahead, Ak.
Whose going forth have been of old, from everlasting. Therefore will he give them up until the time that which travaileth have brought forth.
Read that one more time, that part.
Therefore will he give them up.
He will give them up. How about that? He will give them up. See? He will give them up. Go ahead.
Until the time that she which travaileth have brought forth.
And Mary, until Mary, who was the mother of the Mashiach, brought forth, right? Yahushua being brought forth by Mary, all right? That was Yahushua, the Most High, bringing Yahushua, bringing the Savior of the nation of Israel, Yasha'Allah, all right, into the earth, bringing the Savior. That's why Pontius Pilate asked him, are you the king of the Jews? Yahushua didn't say nothing. Are you the king, you know, are you the king of the Jews? So eventually Yahushua had to, you know, like answer him like, well, thou sayest. Yeah. He said, to this end is the reason why I came into the world. To become, of course, the king, right? And savior of Israel. So basically, yeah, I am. How about that, right? But of course, there had to be had to come a falling away first, right? We had to fall. We had to go down in captivity and be dispersed throughout the whole earth, and the captivity and slavery and so forth. Understand? And so that's why when we read in Revelation, it says the woman's going to be pregnant again. And she's going to travail and birth again, this woman. But this woman is not going to be Mary, is it? This woman now is who?
Israel.
Yeah. See? Understand? Parable, dark saying. This woman now is Israel. Okay, we're going to go to that. Get Revelation, but finish that one first, and then you go to Revelation, just so I can show the parallels between the two.
Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Yasharallah.
Okay, now read that whole thing one more time.
Reading out the book of Micah, chapter 5 and verse 3. Therefore will he give them up.
He will give them up. Go ahead.
Until the time that she which travaileth have brought forth.
See? Because until Yahushua came, until Mary brought forth Yahushua, the Most High gave us up, right? He said, I'm going to go back to my throne. He said, I ain't going to deal with these people. He said, your feast days, I don't care about it. I'm not going to hear your prayers no more. Your sacrifice, I didn't even want them. You know, the sacrificial law, that was the law. You had to do that. I didn't even want that. I don't care about that. See? He gave them up until she brought forth the Mashiach. Then the Most High said, okay, now Israel can be reconciled back to me. See? Now you can be reconciled back to the Mashiach. Only through Yahushua. But he had to come forth. Otherwise, the Most High just gave us up totally. That was it. But he had to come forth. See? And so that's when the Most High, the scripture teaches us that he's our reconciliation. Yahushua reconcile us back to the Most High. And now you can go to the Most High and pray. Only in Yahushua, the Most High hear you pray. If it's not in Yahushua, the Most High is not listening. You know how many times, you know, if you got children, and if they don't ask you something right, what do? You ignore them. Don't you? I do it all the time. I got 6 children. You do it all the time. You ignore them. They got to ask you, with, you know, with respect. They got to ask you right, in the right manner. But they don't ask you right, you ignore them. They just keep asking. You know, get the hell out of here. No, I ain't giving you what you want and tell you such and such, right? Do it the right way. So what do you think the Most High does? I ain't listening to that. I ain't listening to that prayer. Next thing, here you got millions and millions of people praying. Most High says, I ain't listening to them pray. I ain't listening to either one of them. Until Yahushua had to come and, you know, die on the cross for our people. Remember, he said, I lay down my life. I give it up for the nation of Israel. No man taketh my life from me. Because he knew what that meant. He had to. He's talking about he's saving the whole nation. He had to, brother. Otherwise, you'd be here wallowing in the wind. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have nothing. No hope, no nothing. See? So now when you pray all those prayers, now Yahushua bring the prayers to the Most High, and the Most High hear them. Some of them he don't listen to. That's how wicked you are. Yahushua, I know you brought me that prayer, but I still ain't listen to that nigga. That nigga gone. That nigga crazy. Nah. Whatever he do, I ain't listen to that nigga. Understand? Yeah. Most I say, I'm going to go back to my throne until you acknowledge your offense. See? Okay. Okay, go ahead, Doc. Just read that whole thing one more time.
Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel.
Right, see? Then shall the remnant of his brethren shall return. See? And that's, you know, a couple thousand years now into the future. Here we are now. Now, how are we going to return back to the Mashiach Yahushai? How are we going to return back to the Most High? Only through Yahushai.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You say, gather yourselves together. Assemble yourselves. Only in Yahushai. See? You're trying to do it through Africanism, not going to work. You try to do it through Christianity, it's not going to work.
Sure.
You're trying to do it through Roman Catholicism, not going to work. Only in Yahushai. I said, only then shall the remnant of his brethren return back to him. See? We have to return back to the Yahushai. And all the other Israelite groups, maybe the Old Testament Israelite, yeah, it has to be through Yahushua. Has to be. Understand? Go ahead up. And now, that was it.
Yeah, that was it on that verse.
There's more?
No, that's it. That was it.
That was it, right. So now you get to one in Revelation 12.
Revelation 12,
And it just brings it to a different understanding. Because now, of course, Revelation is talking about now in these days, right? You got to thrust the prophecy now all the way forward to these days. And now what is this saying? Now read Revelation 12 and what is it, 3?
Yeah, it looks like I'll start at 2.
Yeah, 2.
Reading out the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 2. And she being with child cried.
Yeah, she being with child. Now, is this talking about Mary? It's not really talking about Mary this time. Okay, go ahead.
Travaileth in birth.
Wait a minute. Travail in birth. All right. Revelation 12 and 2. This woman travails in birth. Let's see. What's up above that? So they can understand who the woman is.
Let's see.
Is it 1?
Is it 1? You want to start with 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can understand who the woman is. Go ahead.
Reading out the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
See, there you go. That's all I want. A woman clothed with the sun, see, and the moon under her feet. Did it say about the 12 stars? Go ahead.
It's coming up. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
See, upon her head a crown. So it said a woman, right? So now you get an idea who the woman is. All right, 12 sons of Jacob. Okay, the 12 sons. We were known as stars too. Reading Genesis, all right, and it tells you the 12 sons are known as stars. Who was like stars, all right. So that's where it says stars. All right. So a woman clothed with 12 stars. Okay. So that's who the woman is talking about. 12 sons of Jacob. Now you read the second verse.
Verse 2. And she being with child cried.
Now, how could the 12 sons of Jacob, is Yahshua, travail in birth, being with child? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Well, yeah, come, you are. In true essence, you're travailing in birth. Why? Because you're waiting for the delivery of the Mashiach Yahushua. And you travail in birth like a woman that is going through birth pains. You're in pain now. If you don't act like a nation who's in pain, something's wrong, brother. Something's wrong. Yeah, well, we're in pain because we're out of order. We're out of order. We're not following the commandments. We're not doing what the Most High says do. We're scattered all over the earth. We're not even a nation to even be thought of. We don't know identity. We don't know our language. We're in pain. That's somebody that's in pain. You don't know them. And then physically, we are in pain. We got diseases. We got tuberculosis, diabetes, heart problems, this problem, that problem. We're in pain. See? And we're waiting for the delivery. This time, it's going to be not so much a woman having delivering a baby or a child. It's going to be we're waiting for the entrance of the Mashiach Yahushua. That's what we're waiting for. And it's like he's going to be birthed back into the earth. Understand? Another scripture says the Most High reckons us as his wife. He reckons us as his wife. See? So is the Most High married? Yeah, the Most High got a wife. You know what I'm saying? The Most High got a wife. He said, Israel's my wife. That's what he said. Understand? He says he's married to Israel. So if someone asks you that, is the Most High married? Well, of course you got to explain it to them. Because next thing you know, they'll tell, okay, who's his wife up there in the spiritual world? No, the Most High said, Israel's my wife. Okay? Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth.
See? We travail in birth, having birth pains. All right, go ahead, Ak.
And pain to be delivered.
And it's pain to be delivered, because when a woman's having a baby, it's painful. It's very painful. We don't know how that feels. If you're a man, you ain't gonna know how that feels. All right? The thing about it is that a woman goes through that pain, and right afterwards, that's it. It's over with. No more pain. The baby's delivered. And then she's ready to have another one about a year later, right? Okay, so if you want to go through that pain again, be my guest. I'm okay with it. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Good. But the Most High made the woman that way, right? Made the woman that way to go through it. But I'm gonna tell you, in true essence, it's not as painful as, as like say it is in this society, as we are in our captivities and stuff. On this side of our captivity, in the kingdom, it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be as it is now. She'll be able to have, of course, she's gonna feel, pressure or whatever, but it's not gonna be painful like the way some of these women have. It's not gonna be like that. She'll be able to have babies, boom, come right out, jump up, and go. Yeah. All right. Jump up and go. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
Okay, so that was it, right?
That was it.
On that part. So that's the parallel of the woman that is about to give birth with the child. And you read the part where it says man-child? Verse 5?
Verse 5.
Yeah, go down to verse 5 for us. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 5, and she brought forth a man-child.
And she brought forth who?
A man-child.
Well, wait a minute. Who brings forth a man-child? When Mary brought forth Yahushua was no man-child. It was a baby. It was a little baby just coming to the earth, right? So, how could these 12 stars, who's the woman, the sons of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, how could they bring forth a man-child? So what is it really saying? That we're not going to... Okay, go ahead, Up.
Yeah, Israel fulfilled their prophecy to bring forth Yahushua.
Bring forth the Mashiach. See? In other words, the deliverer. All right? We got to go through the process, this process that we're going through, our captivities and slavery and everything, going through this process, Jacob's trouble, the affliction, trials and tribulation, the tribulation period, see, birth pains to be delivered, going to deliver the man, because why? Yahushua is not going to come back as a little baby anymore. He's going to come back as a man. Or not even as a man. He said, I won't even meet you as a man. That's what he said, right? He's coming back with spiritual power. Yeah. A regular man is like weak. Yahushua ain't coming back like that no more. He's not coming back like that no more. He's coming back with total spiritual power. See? So that's why I said man-child. Because we're waiting for the Mashiach to come out of the heavens, not be birthed like, a woman has a baby. Understand? That's what we're looking for. All right? Go ahead, Up.
And she brought forth a man-child.
A man-child. How about that? Because Yahushua is already came as a man already. Been through all that. Been there, done that. Yahushua told her, I've been there and done that. What are you talking about? I've been dead, now I'm alive. Been there, done that. You can't kill me. I'm the Mashiach. You can't, nothing you can do. See, he's the Mashiach. Yahushua knows what you're going through. He's been there, done that too. Yahushua knows everything, man. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Who is to rule all nations.
See, the man-child is now going to rule all nations. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
With a rod of iron.
With a rod of iron. How about that? What's the rod of iron? No? The rod of iron is the Bible. The Holy Bible. Con? The law, statute, commandments of the Most High. That's the rod of iron. All right? Yeah. Because like iron, this is going to be what? This is going to be the standard in every nation, everywhere, the whole earth. The law, statute, commandments of the Most High. What the Most High teaches is going to be the standard everywhere. Yeah. It's the rod of iron, so you're not going to be able to get away from it. If you do, then of course, no rain shall come on your society. How about that? No crops shall grow. Right? Remember in Egypt when Joseph was ruling Egypt? He was second to Pharaoh. And the Most High showed Pharaoh a dream. And the dream was going to be 7 years of plenty and 7 years of drought. And that 7 years of plenty, they had everything, brother. They had abundance. But Joseph knew that 7 years of drought was coming. So Joseph was smart. He stored everything. That's why the Pharaoh at that time loved him, because he showed him what to do. And when the drought came, there was nothing. Nothing was growing, nothing. So imagine if the Most High says, okay, I'm not going to have no rain and there's no crops going to grow. You know what that is, brother? You're not going to eat. And when people can't eat, what happens? Stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing about famine, brother. You know what I'm saying? When you dying of hunger, worst death, one of the worst deaths in history. Because you don't die right away. Slow death. Yeah, you don't die right away. Slow death. Every day. Nothing to eat. Nothing, man. See, so that drought, when that drought comes and there's nothing that's growing, you know, that'll get a nation to wake up quick, won't it? Yeah. So that's what happened during the time when Joseph was second to Pharaoh. Joseph was able to store everything away, and then when the people with drought came, they had to buy their food from who? Joseph. Yeah, give me your cattle, and I'll give you some food. See? Or give me gold or silver, whatever. Here goes some food. See? Understand? Joseph was smart, so the Most High gave him that ability. He was smart. He was intelligent. All right. So go ahead, Doc.
And her child was caught up unto the Most High.
And so we're in Revelation.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 5.
Yeah,
continuing.
Right, verse 5. The child was what? Caught up to the Most High. So giving you a clue is talking about who? The Mashiach. Yeah, that's the clue. It's talking about the Mashiach. It's not talking about him being born again of a woman coming into the earth. It's talking about now he's being born, coming out of the spiritual world. Okay, go ahead, up.
And to his throne.
Yeah, his throne. Is Yahweh's throne going to be on this earth? No, his throne is going to be up in the spiritual world. There's no thrones going to be down here. Our little throne's going to be down here. Right? 144,000 of Israel and the leadership of Israel, our thrones will be down here. But Yahweh is going to rule from the spiritual world. And then whatever Yahweh tells us to do from the spiritual world, we're going to get it from the angel. The angel's going to send it down to us, and then we're going to go and carry it forth. That's how it's going to be done. And some of us are going to have the spiritual power to be able to go back and forth to the throne. Not everybody. Some brothers will be able to have that kind of power. All right? Be able to go to the spiritual world, go to the throne, get the directions or whatever Yahweh said, and go come back down and implement it. Yeah? That's the level we're going to be on. He said, the least shall be like King David. The least of us. And David had a reputation of killing 10,000s of people. And he was a man of war. Courageous, had faith, extreme faith. See? So he said, the least of us shall be like that. So what about the greatest ones of us? He said, you should become like gods, called gods. How about that? Okay. That's why Esau wants your body parts now. Kill a nigga, kill a nigga, kill a nigga. Get his body parts. You know, a car accident happened and it's a black man. Hurry up, get his body before he died. That's a heart. That's a liver. They showed you that in that movie Get Out. Get out! Nigga, get out! Why? Because they want your body parts. Yeah. Because you're the chosen. See? Most High gave you that strength. That's what it says about Jacob and Esau. One shall be stronger than the other. Esau is inherently weak. Physically weak, his mind is weak. Everything is weak in him. Everything. By the time he's 30, he's bald-headed and run down, look terrible. Yeah, by the time he's like 30. That's why he got to lift weights and take steroids and all that. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You think David them lifted weights and all that? They didn't do all that, brother. Yeah, they exercise. I'm not saying they exercise and, you know what I'm saying, and train. They trained. But we didn't need to lift weights and all that stuff. Didn't do that. That's Esau trying to become equal with you. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't have to do that. Yeah, but you still keep yourself in good physical shape. The scriptures do say that, though. See? Okay, I finished that.
That was it.
That was it, yeah. So, okay, what does it say in 6?
It just talks about going into the wilderness.
Okay, no, not that. Okay. So, yeah, so, did we finish, yeah, Luke 2, and where'd you leave off in 2? So what we were showing was that the Mashiach not being born on December 25th, you know, Christmas is coming up. So we don't want to see no Christmas trees up in your houses. Okay, we don't want to see, you know, a whole box of presents under the Christmas tree and Christmas lights and all that. You know, we don't want to see that out. That's not for Israel. It's not for Israel, bro. It's not for you. It's not for you. It's not in your spirit to do that. Even though a lot of people out there do it, it's not in their spirit. All right, go ahead, Doc.
Reading out the book of Luke, chapter 2, and verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger.
See, laid him. So this is now Mary, all right, brought forth the Mashiach Yahushua, laid him in a manger. Okay? That's not a manger is something, it's a feeding trough that you feed animals in. Because there was no room at the hotel, they had hotels back then. Because there was no room at the hotel or the inn, she had to have Yahushua lay Yahushua after she brought forth Yahushua and laid him in a manger. All right. Now what? You think the animals were all around there? No, they didn't have the animals around there. They got the animals away and probably took the feeding trough, cleaned it up and everything, right? Probably put blankets in there and everything. So they did the best they can do. That's all. But the Most High was with them. Understand? So they talking about a dirty stable. They got pictures of the stable and all that stuff. No. Okay, go ahead, Op.
Because there was no room for them in the inn.
There was no room for them at the hotel inn, the motel inn, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Okay, there was no room there. Go ahead.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field.
Yeah, when do shepherds abide in the field?
Spring.
Right.
Unless you're going to be the one that's going to be stubborn and do it in the wintertime.
Yeah, right.
If you that Negro, then you're going to freeze to death. You're going to freeze to death. This is what it's showing you. Another clue. Why does the Most High have to put this out in there like that? The Most High really got to put that in there like that? No, he doesn't have to tell the story. The Most High doesn't have to put that in there like that. But he puts it in to show you what? To give you a clue as to what type of season it is. Understand? what type of season it is.
20.
All right, shepherds are outside, right? And I'm going to tell you, okay, we've been to Israel now, right? We've been there. It's cold. It gets cold there, just like over here in America, brother. It gets cold there. All right? I mean, you're not going to have no 15-degree weather and stuff like that, but it gets cool. All right? The weather can drop. At night, it can be cold. Right? It can drop down to, 40s and, high 30s. It can drop down. All right? We've been there, so it can drop down. All right? So I don't see the shepherds at night tending to sheep in that kind of weather, brother. Okay? Let the sheep stay out there by themselves. They go in the house. Right? You just secure your sheep or whatever, and then you go in the house because you ain't going to be out there. But when the spring comes, you're going to be out there. All right? You're going to be out there. And this is what it's showing. Okay, go ahead, huh?
Keeping watch over their flock by night.
See, keeping watch. And still, it was at night. How about that? So you know it's a little bit colder at night.
Good.
And so they're not going to be standing out there watching over flock. They're going to be in the house getting warm. Right? So, okay, go ahead, up.
Verse 9. And lo, the angel of the Most High came upon them, and the glory of the Most High shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
Right, so that was it on that. I'm going to show you. That's talking about the Mashiach Yahushua being born in Bethlehem. All right, what type of season it was. All right, in the springtime, and we showed that Passover comes in the springtime, Abba Yab. All right, and then you go home and read Exodus 12th chapter. You read all about the Passover. All right, and then when you read Exodus 12th chapter, all about the Passover, you go to Exodus 13, in the 4th verse, you read about the Most High said, "This day is the day that you celebrate your Passover." All right, Abib, in the month Abib, which is spring forth, and it's Abayab in Hebrew. It means spring forth. So Yahushua in the springtime. So all this about Christmas, about Christ being born December 25th is all lies, man. All lies. Get the one in Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10. You can start from the first verse.
Yeah.
I know some of us know these scriptures, but a lot of us don't. So in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter teaches you about the Christmas tree and how not to put it up in your house. Right? How not to put it up in your house. But the Christian folks still do it. Why? Because they're not about what the Bible is teaching us as truth. They're about what society teaches for tradition. They want to keep tradition going, right? Because they think that they're going to gain wealth or whatever in society, right? So, okay, go ahead, Up.
Reading out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Most High speak unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
See? Don't learn the ways of the heathen. So why would the Most High put that in there? So that's a warning to Israel. There's something about the heathen the Most High hate. Right? The Most High hate. He says something about the heathen he just hates. Right? What is it? All their customs, all their idol gods, everything. Most High hate them. So he was telling Israel, don't learn their ways because he hates it. He didn't want us to touch their ways. But that's like you tell a child, don't touch that. What does the child do still?
Touch it.
Why? Didn't I tell you don't touch it? But you went and done it anyway. Now what do you got to do? I got to whoop you. See? Same difference. I got to whoop you because you touched it. I told you not to. See? So go ahead, Up.
Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Yeah, see, because the signs of heaven, when the Most High gave us and told us what the signs of the heavens are, we knew what the signs of heaven were. All right? See? But because we were following the ways of the heathen, the signs of heaven now start to make us afraid. But the signs of heaven shouldn't make you afraid, even now. See? When you see the blood moon, you shouldn't be afraid of that. No, it's prophecy. It's coming. The end is coming. I'm glad to see it. You see the eclipses and all that, I'm glad it's coming. Yeah, signs of heaven, right? How about that? See, so that's the Most High. It's coming. Don't be afraid of it. For Israel, we're not supposed to be afraid. The heathen are afraid. Because Esau knows the end of his society. He knows that. End of his rulership. He knows that. But it cannot be stopped. Okay, go ahead, huh?
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, there you go. They're dismayed at it. What is that? Why does 4 blood moons in a year? What the heck does that mean? And the moon is bloodshot red. It's bloody. You ever see it? I mean, when you see it from Israel, when you go to Israel and you see it, the moons there are like close. You know, the moons there are really close. And as you might have heard in the teachings of the brother Krazala, when he talked concerning the new moon, how there's different portals when the moon goes around. There's different portals it goes through. So there's certain positions from the month where the moon seems closer than other times. You know, other times it seems like a little far out, and other times it's closer. That's because it's at that portal. It goes with in a circuit within these portals, and there are times it's closer, it seems closer, appears closer to the earth than other times. But when you're in Jerusalem, it's like you can almost touch the thing. You know, look at the moon, hey, what's up? Yeah, it's close. And so when that thing was fully red, that's an awesome sight to see. All right, awesome sight to see. All right. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
Yeah, because they were doing the same thing back during the Babylonian Empire days, the Assyrian Empire days, all right? All right? The Greco-Roman Empire days, they were doing the same thing. The custom never really stopped. Still doing it. During Nimrod, during those times, they would hang people's heads on the tree. That was like the bulbs now you hang on, that was a person's head. All right? You didn't follow Nimrod the ways, your head would be hung on, you know. You didn't worship Nimrod or the winter solstice or whatever, your head's hanging on the tree. Cut your head off hanging on a tree. Decorate the tree with a bunch of heads. Esau would decorate their trees in America with Negroes hanging on trees.
Yeah.
You know, about 10, 20 Negroes hanging on one tree, and they decorate it. And then you get a whole throng of Edomites gathering around having what they call a picnic.
That's right.
That's what they did, brother. There's parts of history they don't teach. They know it'll be so devastating, and then it'll bring out too much truth.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the spirit in you will change. Like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, what? That spirit of vengeance will come on you. Then the spirit of Mosiah will start to come back on you. Instead of this dull spirit, the spirit of love, spirit of rainbow coalition. Let's come together in the rainbow, all that. They lull you to sleep with that madness. You know what I'm saying? They lull you to sleep. And our people asleep out there with that. But if they show you the real truth, they'll tell you there was slavery, but they're not going to show you everything that happened.
Right.
Even those movies, Roots, 12 Years a Slave, they still didn't show you everything that happened. They give you a little bit here, a little bit there, but you know, they don't really tell you what happened.
Right.
All right? Hang a woman up, woman's pregnant, cut the baby out, and the baby's still alive. Cut the baby out. Now she's hung now. They cut the baby out, then stomp on the baby. Right? Stomp the baby to death. And then the woman's already hung, she's dead, but they're still gonna shoot at her full of holes. Why shoot at her full of holes? She's already dead. See? Gonna show you how much they hate you, brother. They hate our people, they hate you.
Yeah. Sure.
All that old love stuff, that's just to put you to sleep.
John.
Put a hand up, right quick. Put a hand up.
I mean, even the subject of slavery enough should have you upset.
Yeah. Yeah, that's enough right there. But when you read all the intricate details of what happened in slavery, And as you read, I noticed as I was reading, I got angry and angrier. Then, you know, you got to take the train, right? Edom might come up. Edom might say, do nothing right now, but you know it's coming. It's coming. See? That's why he said, I don't want you to read. That's why he didn't have you read. Right? I don't want you to read. He don't want you to read your history. Don't want you to know who you are, your identity, nothing. Because it's going to bring you, it's going to bring all that knowledge back. You know what I'm saying? All that knowledge back about who you are. They don't want you to know who you are. Understand? Because then your natural spirit comes back. That spirit, wait a minute, this is my enemy. See, all that comes back. Just by nature, this comes back automatically. This is my enemy. Wait a minute. And he did this, he did that, he did that. Wait a minute. You know, get off me, man.
They're not teaching in school anymore either.
No.
They took it away.
They lull you to sleep. And then they got, now they got faggots coming in, drag queens. Teaching the babies. Yeah, teaching them how to, how to be a homo and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on. And this is what you get. And then your children come home. Next thing you know, they start sashaying down. I'm like, where did you get that from? I didn't teach you that. But it's like we have no control. See, I'm going to show you, we're just out there. There's no control. Other nations control. You send your children to school to get education, but it's the enemy teaching them.
Right.
So, and when they come home, next thing you know, you tell them to do something, they don't want to do it. Right. Because that mentality. You think David sent his sons to be taught by the enemy? That doesn't matter. That didn't make any sense. That would never happen. That would never happen, man. You think the mothers, Israelite mothers, would send their children to, let's say, the enemy, Babylonian, to be taught by their schools? No, that's not going to happen. The Egyptian school, that's not going to happen. Right. Understand? It's not going to happen. So, but you have no control over it now. You have to do it. And then your children come home and say, they're talking about Halloween. What are you talking about? We don't celebrate that. Yeah, but Daddy, they had candy and everything. They had masks on. See, there you go. And then they start early, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, by the time your son and daughter is 18 years old, you got this little monster in your house, gremlin from hell. So how did that happen? You know what I'm saying? This is how it is. So this is why it said gather yourselves together. See, summon yourselves. But go ahead, up.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree.
The Christmas tree is upright as a palm tree. It's a palm tree, so you go to the forest, right, and they cut it down. This is what they do. They do it every year. Go to your local store right now. Go to Home Depot. What do you got? A palm tree. Sit up there waiting for you to take it. Yeah, waiting for you to buy it. You're going to buy a palm tree. It grows naturally outdoors, but you're going to buy one from Home Depot. It's stupid. I'm going to tell you, stupid. That's crazy. You're going to buy one from Home Depot. You can cut one down yourself, but no, you'd rather go to Home Depot and buy a palm tree. Ain't there something? Yeah, go ahead.
But speak not.
They don't speak. So the Most High showing Israel, it's plain. The Most High saying, but they don't speak. So the Most High, what is the Most High saying? I speak to you. But these idol gods you set up in your houses, they don't say nothing to you.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, up.
They must needs be born.
Yeah, born means to carry. You got to carry a palm tree into your house. Yeah, big behind palm tree, heavy. You got to carry it in your house. For what? It's a waste of time. That's always a waste of time. The Most High is saying, you got to carry this thing and you're going to worship it, right? And back then they worshipped it. They worship it today, but back then they would pray to it, bow down to it, right? Right? It's the same difference today, but today they're worshiping on another level, right? But back then they would bow down to it, pray to it, talk to it. That's why the Most High, it doesn't speak back. Why are you talking to it? It doesn't speak back. But this is what our people did. We did these things, man. Okay, go ahead, up.
They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Yeah, don't be afraid of them. Go ahead.
For they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
Right. So, in other words, don't be afraid of them, meaning our people are so traditionalized, they think if they don't have a Christmas tree, that something bad is going to happen to them, something evil is going to happen to them. Understand? So this is what they think. They think, oh, you're not celebrating the birth of Christ, so if you don't do it, You know, God's gonna get you, so go get your Christmas tree.
Or if they don't have a tree for the kids.
Or a treat for the kids, right. This is what they say, right. Understand? Okay, and that was it on that one?
That was it.
Okay, go to Deuteronomy 7:25. Deuteronomy 7:25. Unbelievable, man.
Reading out the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 25. The graven images of their gods.
See, the graven images of their God, the graven images of their gods, see, of their gods, go ahead.
Shall ye burn with fire.
Shall you burn with fire. Would the Most High be upset now if you burnt up a couple of these Christian churches? Hell, Most High wouldn't be upset at that. Wouldn't be upset at that. Most High be happy. Yeah. Burn with fire. You know, I mean, you get everybody out of there, and, you know, do your thing.
Do the work of the Most High.
You're doing the work of the Most High. Most High wouldn't be angry at that. Go ahead,
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold.
How about that? How come you deck it with silver and gold? But the Most High comes back, you shall not desire the silver and the gold. How about that? See? The scriptures is something else, right? Just cuss. Shall not desire the twinkling ornaments and stuff they put on trees, the silver and gold. Okay, go ahead,
That is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein.
You're going to be snared. It's a snare thing. So it traps you. It's like in a net. It traps you in a net. And because you're lulled by you receiving gifts and presents and stuff, that's how Satan traps you. So next thing you know, you're in that Christmas spirit. What kind of spirit is a Christmas spirit? That's a demon from hell, brother. You don't want that demon. Yeah. You don't want, but Satan can appear, he can appear nice, right? He can appear loving and caring. Can he appear? Big fat white man giving gifts. Right. Understand? Big fat white man. And so they give that appearance because Satan's about deception. So it gives that appearance that everything is okay with it, but it's not. Okay? They give the appearance that going to church is okay. The Christian churches out here, right? And the Baptist churches, it gives that appearance, doesn't it? Everything you go in there, everything is nice, and you know, you got the pastor up there preaching and singing, everybody's singing and clapping and dancing, and everything is nice. You might even have some food later on, whatever. It gives that appearance, yeah, that everything is right. But inside, they're like the devil. They're like hell, ravening wolves. They're dirty, like whited sepulchres, the scripture says. Outside, you're all white and nice, but inside, demons from hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Making sure you can't see him coming.
Yeah, can't see him coming. Right. Okay. How about that? Go ahead, up.
Least thou be snared therein.
At least you're going to be snared therein. So a lot of our people are snared. So, yeah, you pray to the Most High that the Most High brings His prophecy to pass, that He have His way on these people that are celebrating Christmas. There's going to be a lot of death, destruction, and bloodshed. And I hope that the Most High bring that in Yahushua. I really do. I hope that the Most High bring that. Okay? And I'm talking about on the family that's going to put up a big giant Christmas tree, have presents and all that, bring death and destruction on them. All right? Because, you know, that's why Solomon said, for all is vanity. It's just a vain thing that they do. That's all is vanity and vexation. See? It's a vexation. All right? Go ahead, finish that.
For it is an abomination.
It's an abomination
to the Most High thy power.
Yeah, see? When you read it, you say, it's an abomination to the Most High thy power. It's an abomination. So, that's why when you come into the truth, now you begin to learn how to celebrate the ceremonial commandments of the Most High. See? The Most High didn't leave you without feast days and high holy days. He didn't leave you without that. Right? And those are, of course, more righteous. They're more holy. Right? Upright. And then when you celebrate those, there's something you get in return. The spirit of truth and wisdom from the Most High, right? And the spirit of knowledge and health and everything from the Most High. The nurturing spirit from the Most High you get when you celebrate the high holy days of the Most High. Understand? That's what you get from it. And then you're amongst brethren, you're amongst the congregation, you're amongst, you know, your own people that are celebrating the same thing with you. So that's why we did it. That's why the Most High said for Israel to separate themselves. Remember, said, I'm going to separate you from other people. The Most High said, I will sever you from other people. Come from amongst them and celebrate your own high holy days. See? And then the Most High is just with us. See? The Most High spirit, Most High ain't with that come together rainbow spirit with all the nations and stuff. Most High is not with that. Celebrating what they want to celebrate. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was it on that?
That was it.
And then you get wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha for me. Real quick. Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. But I tell you what, before we get that, we're going to get Psalms 135:15. Psalms 135 and the 15th verse. Get that for me.
Reading out the book of Psalms, chapter 135 and verse 15. The idols of the heathen are silver and gold.
See what the Most High is saying? Their idols are silver and gold. All right? Now, even though a Christmas tree is a tree, but you're putting silver and gold on it, it's still idol worship. No matter how you look at it, it's idol worship. Okay, go ahead, Al.
The work of men's hands.
The work of men's hands. How about that? The work of men's hands, because they cut it down. And then they fashion the tree how they want to fashion it. The work of men's hands. Go ahead.
They have mouths, but they speak not.
See, the same thing. In Jeremiah 10, they have mouths, right? They speak not. Go ahead.
Eyes have they, but they see not.
So what does that mean? What are they doing to these trees? Or these idol gods? They're putting...
Oh, no, I was just going to say they're making them gods.
They're making them gods, right. They're putting eyes to them. And mouths to them. How about that? This is a grown man. He's a grown-ass man. Putting a mouth to an idol god in the eye, and then going and then carry it into the house and expect the thing to talk. Yeah.
Using your feet to and fro.
Yeah, using your feet. To and fro, right? Using your feet. Right. You got to carry the thing. Right. So this is what the Most High is showing Israel. How foolish can you be? How ignorant is stupid. It's on the lowest level of hell. Immature, you're like a child. But these are grown people doing this. The children didn't do that. It was the grown people back then. It was our people. See? How about that? Go ahead, Art.
17. They have ears, but they hear not.
And then you're going to put ears to it. See? That was what Abraham was trying to tell his father. You read the history. His father was into idol worship. You know that. Abraham's father. Haran was into idol worship. Okay? When you read the history. And Abraham was told by his father to, you know, take care of some of the idols or whatever, make sure you wash it or whatever. He told him to do something with the idols. And Abraham, being a young boy, being a young man, right, was going to listen to what his father said. Right. But then when he went and did it, one of the idols fell down. So you know that was the Most High, right? Right. Because Abraham pondered on it, and when he went to the idol, like, get the hell up. You know, like, the idol fell down, and Abraham's like, well, why does my father have me cleaning these idols or whatever, and it fell down, but it can't get itself up? Abraham's like, get up! I can look at that and imagine that. Like, get the hell up! You're an idol. My father's worshiping you. Get up. Couldn't get up. So Abraham had to lift the idol up and put it back. But since then, Abraham wasn't the same. Yeah, Abraham wasn't the same. That was the Mosiah. So Abraham went to his father Dad, why you do this when you have the Mosiah? He had to tell his father about the Mosiah. You know what I'm saying? As a young man. See? And so that started Abraham on his, gaining more knowledge and, really trying to understand the Mosiah. His own father was an idol worshiper. Like that. Man, the idol fell down, but it can't get up. Yeah.
His father's name was Torah.
Torah, you're right. I bet Torah. Excuse me, Torah. That was his father's name. Okay, Torah. Okay. Go ahead, Up.
Neither is there any breath in their mouths.
There's no breath in their mouths. Okay, go ahead.
They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them.
Right. In other words, like a dead thing. You're nothing. That's what it means. You're nothing. Okay. Was that it?
That was it on that.
Yeah. And then now you get the wisdom of Solomon. It's 14. 14 and 8. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8.
Reading out the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 8. But that which is made with hands is cursed.
That which is made with hands is cursed. You understand that? So you carrying your Christmas tree into your house, that's a cursed thing already. You got to bring it with your hands and you're going to fashion it because you're going to put Christmas lights and all that and bulbs on and all that. So you're going to fashion it how you want it. It's a curse. You're bringing a cursed thing inside your house. Now all of a sudden it catch fire and your son, your daughter get caught in the fire and die. All right? So what'd you just do? Because you brought the cursed thing in your house. You cursed your whole household. That's what's happening. Go ahead, Up.
But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it.
Yeah, and so now you become cursed. About that. You becoming the cursed thing as well as the thing that you bringing into your house. All of a sudden you went from something that was blessed from the Most High to a cursed thing. As soon as you do this. That's what happened with the brother that took the idols during the time of Joshua, right? Most High said, okay, don't take no spoils, nothing, don't take nothing, right? Don't take nothing. Now the army is blessed. They were winning the wars and everything, right? They were running the battles and everything. In the wilderness, we're winning all the battles. All of a sudden, the Most High gives you a command: don't take nothing. Because the other battles, what happened? We were able. The Most High said you can take the spoils. See? But this one, the Most High said, nah. See? There's always got to be one, right? And he said, well, hell, you let us take it all the time. What the hell's wrong now? That's probably what went through his mind, right? Think about it. Probably went through his mind. So, and that's probably why the Most High said, don't take nothing this time, because why? They were taking idols from before. They were taking idols from the other battles they won. So the Most High said, don't take anything this time. But one man, right, took the cursed thing. Now, the whole military is blessed. You're blessed going out to war because the priest blessed you. Moses, Marshal blessed you. It was blessed. You're going to win the war. You're going to win it. You already know you're going to win. Just do what the Most High say do. Couldn't do that. One man took something. We had a 600,000 man army coming out of Egypt. Understand? So this one man caused them to lose that whole battle. And so they went through every tent of Israel looking for that man, looking for him, because the spirit was on Marshal, was on Moses and Joshua to find out who this man was, and they would give the command: go through every tent and find out who this man is that took that idol. Sure enough, when he came to the one that took it, because it was a cursed thing, what happened to the man? Cursed his whole family. His whole family got jacked up. Yeah, it was because he cursed himself by taking the idol God. So the whole family got cursed, destroyed. One man. One man and his family. Put it like that. So you cursing your whole family. Go ahead.
Just like we was cursed from forefathers.
Yeah, gun. So go ahead, Up.
He, because he made it, and it, Because being corruptible, it was called God.
Yeah, you call it the Most High. You give it a God-like title, and now that replaces the Most High. I think I would be angry too. That's like your son, and you didn't did everything for your son. You raised your son, you raised your daughter, you raised your children, and all of a sudden they put somebody else before you. You know, it's T on the corner on the street selling drugs, or that gang member. You know, they put him before you, and you didn't did everything for your son and raised him and everything. Now how you gonna feel now? See, you're gonna be angry. You're gonna be angry, huh? I would be angry. I would come with vengeance. See my son out there next to T selling drugs in the corner, I'm gonna be angry. I may just go out there and put it as a death right in front of T. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High is. Yeah. All right? So you can almost understand and see the Most High's actions, why he would do what he does. See? Understand? Because you would do the same thing if you had sons and daughters and they went against you and didn't listen to your rules of your house and so forth. You would do the same thing. Okay, go ahead, huh?
Verse 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
What, say it again?
For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
Does the Most High hate? You're damn right he hates. They're both hateful before the Most High. Right. So all these people celebrating Christmas is hateful before the Most High. You can't justify it either. You can't say, well, it's just for the children. You can't say that. You can't say that to the Most High. Understand? If anything, the scripture says train a child in the way they should go. See? Because all children love presents and gifts and toys and all that. So you can spoil a child by bringing in a gift, but it's not what the Most High want. So you're going to end up getting your children destroyed, and you're going to be on the news crying. CBS News. Breaking alert. Breaking news break.
House fire.
You know, house fire. Everybody dead. They ain't got to count them. Everybody. See? Christmas tree included. Dead. Yeah, tree too. And the gifts. Dead. Dog, dead. The dog didn't do anything. The dog is dead. And most I would kill a dog too. Everybody.
Dog had a gift too.
Yeah. Go ahead, Art.
For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High.
Hateful unto the Most High. Go ahead.
For that which is made shall be punished, together with him that made it.
Yeah, see? It's going to be punished, together with him that made it. Punishment is on the horizon, brother. Okay? This week, the punishment's on the horizon. You're going to read about it. You will read about it. It's on the horizon. And what you do read, no, that's not even the half. They're not going to tell you everything that's happening out there. All right? You got to do some searching, but it's on the horizon. Go ahead, Up.
Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation.
See, visiting, the Most High going to visit. Going to visit the idols of the Gentiles. How about that? Remember when Elijah had to show the people the difference between idols and the Most High real thing? See? Their idols couldn't do nothing. They put the food there and all that, and then they try to deceive the people and made the people think the idols ate the food, but really at night somebody was in there taking the food. Right?
They put powder on the floor.
Right. Understand? So Elijah had to show them this, the real thing, the real power in the Most High. Right? Okay? But still, our people are like just homeborn servants. They're just ready to be deceived every day, each and every day. Okay, go ahead, Up.
Because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise.
See? Unwise. See? And here's people who have, you know, PhDs, bachelor degrees, in engineering and nursing and psychiatry and doctorates, and they're gonna celebrate Christmas. And Most High said, "You're a dummy. You're nothing but a dummy to me." But they esteem them to be as wise people. Most High, they're unwise. You're a bunch of dummies. That's how the Most High look at them. All right. Okay, go ahead, Up.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
By devising of idols is the beginning of spiritual fornication. See? So, can you fornicate against the Most High? Yes, spiritual fornication. Worshiping of idols. And just about everything people do out there is idol worship. Idol worship comes in different forms, in different stages, in different forms out in the world. Understand? So you could praise one of your athletes, right? I'm a fan of LeBron James. I'm a fan. Well, you know, just think about it. I'm a fan, you know, of LeBron, and you say you're a fan. You know, fan means fanatic. So you're fanatical over LeBron James. Think about it. Idol worship. That's a form of idol worship. Just by saying that, it's a form of idol worship, right? And then, you know, and then it goes a little bit further. It goes in different stages. Right? There's higher stages of idol worship. Understand? Higher stages, and then of course there's lower stages too. See? But still, you want to abstain from all of it. See? Money and all that, you know, idol worship. Money is idol worship. I mean, if that's all you into is your money, man. Dollar bill, you know what I'm saying? Idol worship. It's just idol worship. Cars, you know. Don't hit a brother with his nice, you know, nice Lexus Jeep. Don't hit it. Don't tap it. Don't do nothing. He'll kill you. That's idol worship. Kill somebody with something materialistic. Kill you for it. So idol worship, different forms of it. All right. You can idolize your woman too. You can idolize your wife. Don't idolize no woman. Most High said for the man to always hold what? The preeminence. You're the leader. Always hold your leadership, what the Most High gave you as a man. All right. But of course, you're gonna, as a man, you're gonna have your wife and then take care of your family in conjunction with your wife in righteousness. So you're not gonna rule your house like a roaring lion. Understand? In stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Where she's almost pretty much in abject slavery because, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't do that. Because you got brothers hitting their wives and beating their wives up and doing uppercuts and all that. then the Most High didn't say rule like that. Come on, right? You know, woman's pregnant, you got doing push-ups and all that stuff. You know, we heard all these things out. Brothers are locking the refrigerator with padlocks and everything. We heard all this type of stuff. That's just, Ash could tell you all kinds of things. So you don't do that. But still, you know, as a man, you're supposed to do things in wholesomeness and righteousness, right? So when the Most High says the man is the leader, you're not the leader just you're not a blind leader. You're a leader in righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So you got to rule your family because when you have a counsel with your wife over your children, she's there in the council with you. It's you and your wife, and she's going to help you guide your household. So how you going to just rule like you a madman? You know what I'm saying? No, you can't do that. Okay? So everything has been done in a balance. There's a balance to it also. Okay. Even a lion don't just you know he knows how to use the female lion, right? The male lion knows how to use her. And it works in harmony. He don't just eat up the female lion because he got 5 or 6 of them, 7 of them. Yeah, he uses them in the harmony, and everything works out. She go hunt, bring the food, right? Make the plate, season it some or whatever she do. Season that food, man, and then she lays the meal down, and you don't see the male lion till she lays that meal down, right? Then where's the male lion? He come out of damn near nowhere. He's always around, isn't he? Always around. And then all of a sudden you hear this loud roar, like, get the hell out of the way, I gotta eat first. But that's how it works. It works in harmony, right? It works in harmony. So I'm just saying, that's how it has to work in your household in harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, she has to keep him healthy and fat so he can protect
Yeah, so he can protect it. He's a protection. And he's not never too far away. Because let one of them hyenas come around, and where's the male lion? Come out of nowhere. It's like he just appeared. And that hyena looking like, where the hell he come from? He's gone. Yeah. So, I mean, almost finished up.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. Verse 13, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
Yeah, it's not, so the most there's a time limit for idol worship going to be in the earth. And we know when the Mashiach, Yahushua comes, he's going to eliminate all that madness, man. All this madness, man, that all people are worshiping and bowing down to, all this madness, Yahushua is going to eliminate it, okay? Go ahead up.
For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world.
See, vain glory, vanity. See, even Solomon went into that. Solomon went into vain glory. Idol worship. He went into it. Let me see what madness is about. Let me see what sin is. And he went into it. He should have never said, let me go see what sin is. He should never said that. Should never said that. Should never went into it, though. Understand? Leave it alone.
Yep.
Because if you see sin over there, why would you go over there?
Why would you go check it out?
Hey, why would you go check it out? Yeah. Some brothers think they're strong enough to go dabble into it and then come out of it. You're not going to be the same. We've seen it. You're not going to be the same. You're not going to dabble into witchcraft and think, well, because I know enough of the truth, I'm going to be safe. No, that doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Because and Solomon was the wisest king that ever lived. And had the knowledge of the Most High. And knew what demons were. Knew all that stuff. He could speak to animals and plants and all that stuff. And none of us can do that now. And he even went and dabbled in it. And didn't come out of it alive. And that was the Most High's chosen king. He didn't come out of it alive. See? So how you on this earth now, and we in the lowest state of our people, you gonna come out of it alive? Nah, you ain't gonna make it, brother. We've had brothers who understood when the Sabbath was one day, next day they took on the Sabbath on a Monday. Wasn't the science. So you can't go into that stuff. You gotta leave it alone. See, that's why Moses said flee. See, flee from sin. See? That's why Moses tell you if your neighbor tries to seduce you, flee from it. You know what I'm saying? He said the neighbor seduces him. Understand? Try to seduce you into something that you know is get the hell away from him. Nah, brother. Nah, man. Yeah, but you can have this, you can have this amount of money and this and that. Nah, brother. See? Nah, forget about it. All right. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
And therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Verse 15.
Okay, go ahead.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god.
Yeah, so your child is taken away because you were into idol worship, so the Most High killed you, took your child.
Good.
And now how you going to honor your child by making him what? An idol god. And swear you're doing what the Most High say do. No, that's not what the Most High wanted you to do. First of all, your child is dead because you were wicked as hell. You killed your child. You killed him. See, by idol worship. And the Most High is not like that. Yeah.
So all those people who like had pictures of their dead and put candles and stuff.
Yeah, that's idol worship. Yeah, all that's idol worship. All this, you know, somebody got shot out there and there's a certain corner or whatever, and next thing you know, they got a whole entourage of people with candles and all that. What the hell do you think that is, huh? You know?
Yeah, worshiping the dead.
Worshiping the dead. Yeah, next thing you know, you got every demon in hell right there. Don't go over there. All it takes is one of them demons to latch on to you. Don't go over there. Yeah.
I was going to say, I did that also. Bill Cosby, when his son Ennis died, he made a statue of him in his house.
Really? Wow. Now, yeah, how about that? Now, I didn't know that. Yeah. Now we see, where's Bill Cosby now? Gone. His image, America's dead, all that is gone. Dead. It's dead. You in prison, you 80 something years old, you're dead, brother. That's death. That's worse than death. He would have been better off if they put him on the firing squad and killed him. Yeah. You're better off because quick, it's easy, and then you know, back in the spiritual world. But now you tortured, you know, you in prison. Yeah.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Daily being mocked.
Daily being mocked. You're better off, man. See? But I didn't know that. See? Now you see why the Most High got him. See, it comes out, boy. It comes out, doesn't it? And then, of course, the other thing with the woman he did, but still. And we know some of that was probably lies, but still. I can see the Most High getting them more on that than with the woman.
Yeah.
Understand? I can see that. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Up.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man. And
dead man walking. Your son is dead, now you're going to honor him as a god. See, and put him before the Most High. That's what's happening. Go ahead.
And delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
This is what they do. How about that? Our people did these things, huh? Okay. And they still do it. It's at a different stage now in this society, but still the same thing. Common denominator is idol worship. Go ahead, Up.
Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law.
How about that, Christmas. An ungodly custom kept as a law. Christmas. How about that? It's kept as an ungodly custom. There you have it. Solomon, that's Solomon too. Go ahead, Up.
So going from this, you could say then that the typical funeral ceremony is off.
Yeah, it's way off. You know, it's way off. Did Israel have funerals like they have today? Israel didn't have those type of funerals. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, the bodies are around for 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 days. You know what I'm saying? The body passed away, you bury it the same day.
That's right.
The same day. Okay? The same day. But even though, you know, like when Jacob passed away, there was like a type of funeral when Jacob, because they marched to Jacob's burying spot. All right? And at that same day, that's when Esau got killed. So I said, okay, Esau, it's your time too. Y'all were twins, it's your time. So, but nevertheless, you know, a lot of the kings of Egypt, a lot of the kings in the area, they came to Jacob, you know, so-called funeral, his burial. But I mean, it wasn't like they kept his body around for days and days. No, understand? So and then you have what they call it, the first part of the funeral, the wake.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 days you have a funeral. I mean, the body's up on top of the earth too long. Then it's unclean. That's, you know, and then the Most High tells you about being around a dead body too long. Right. So it's unclean. The same day it passed away, it's the same day you bury it. Okay? Same exact day, brother. You don't keep it around because it's unclean to everybody. Okay? So of course, again, that's a form of idol worship too, because they don't want to see the person go under the ground. But it's dead. It's dead, nothing but a corpse. Dust to dust. Understand? So it's nothing but a corpse. So, you know, people are, you know, they want to keep the body around for as long as they can, but that's idol worship too. A form of idol worship. There's different forms and different stages of it. Okay, go ahead, Up.
And graven images were worshipped by commandments of kings.
Yeah, see, graven images worshipped by commandments of kings. See, remember Nebuchadnezzar? Right? Made an image of himself and forced everybody to bow down to it. And if you didn't bow down to it, you were eaten by the lions, or yeah, it was the lions at that time, right? The lions, den of lions. Okay, and Daniel said, I'm not worshiping that madness. See, Daniel was praising the Most High, but he had men spy on Daniel, and they seen him praising the Most High. So they went to the king and said, look, you're the one that you made. Daniel was like second to the king, right? Second to him. But the one that you made, you know, high up over everybody, he's not praising your image. How about that? He's not praising your image. So of course, they went to Nebuchadnezzar and said, look, he's not praising your image. Right? Because, of course, out of jealousy, they were doing that. Because here's Daniel, a Hebrew, right? Pretty much like second in command all of Babylon, giving all his praise and honor, right? But Daniel said, I'm not doing that. And so it came that he wasn't praising that statue or that image. The Antichrist is going to do a similar type image in these last days. Yeah. That's the abomination of desolation. The Most High said, when you see that, get the hell out. He said, flee back out of Jerusalem. Go to show you some of us are going to be there in the last days. He said, flee back out. The abomination of desolation. Antiochus did it too. All right? And the Antichrist, you know, you see how the history sort of repeats itself. Antichrist is going to do it these days. And what's going to happen? We're going to catch niggas bound down to it. The niggas going to be put to death. See? It's going to happen. See? So, we got to understand the Most High, idol worship, again, was the beginning of spiritual fornication. That's the worst thing you could do with the Most High. All sin, of course, the Most High hate. But when you sin against the Most High with spiritual fornication, again, that's like your child going out and giving somebody else the praise other than you, and you the father. You're not going to like that, brother. You're not going to like it. Okay, go ahead, Al.
Verse 17. Whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage from far. See,
counterfeit of his visage from far. How about that? Counterfeit. Go ahead.
And made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their frowardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present.
Right. How about that? Okay. So that's it on that. And just get Mark 7 and 7 right quick. And Zaquan Napash, get Colossians 2 and 8.
Done.
And that'll be it.
Reading out the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me.
Howbeit in vain, say in vain they worship the Most High. Because in church, they're going to celebrate Christmas, but they're going to talk about the Lord. You know, the Lord saved me, the Lord, I'm saved. And they're going to talk about Christ and all that. But, so the Most High said in vain they worship him. Go ahead.
Teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Yeah, say Christmas. A doctrine for the commandment of man, but not for the Most High. Go ahead, Doc.
For laying aside the commandments of the Most High.
So they laid aside the commandment of the Most High, the Bible. They laid the Bible aside, even though they had the Bible in front of them, but they lay it aside. They're not going to follow it. Right? They lay it aside. Go ahead.
Ye hold the traditions of men.
And they take the traditions of man and idolize that, and that becomes their God. They worship that. And that's what the people out there in the world are going to do. So the punishment is coming. And you're going to hear about it. Go ahead, Doc.
As the washing of pots and cups.
Yeah, see? Tradition. What do you do on Christmas? What do people normally do? They go shopping. See, it's the tradition. It means the tradition. Yeah, they go shopping. They get wrapping paper. They get Christmas trees. See, tradition. They get bulbs. They get lights. They light up the whole house. See? And then they call it in the spirit of Christmas. But if you don't do that, they say you're not in the spirit of Christmas. See, they get you. They make you feel guilty. They trap you. It's like a snare. The scripture says it's like a snare. You know what I'm saying? You want to do what your neighbor's doing, so you don't want to feel guilty. You don't want to look bad. So you do the same thing. Nah, brother. No. That's why the Most High said, be unspotted in the world. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Be unspotted. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Doc.
And many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandments of the Most High.
They rejected the Most High's commandment. Go ahead.
That ye may keep your own tradition.
And you keep your own traditions. This is what they're doing. Say Christmas. They want to keep their own traditions. All right? And not follow what the Most High says. Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 10. For Moses said, Honor thy father and thy mother.
Okay, that's it. Now get Colossians 2 and 8.
Reading for the book of Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Now so see how when you read the Old Testament it says idols. But in the New Testament it says what? It'll still tell you about idols, but here it says philosophy. Is it the same thing? Is idol and philosophy the same thing? Yes, pretty much is. What's Christianity? A philosophy. See? What's Jehovah's Witnessism? A philosophy. See? What's Roman Catholicism? A philosophy. That's all it is, religion. These are philosophies of man. All right? A philosophy is like a man's hypothetical thought. It's not necessarily the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, and the relationship between the philosophy, you idolize the philosophy over the word of the
Over the word of the Most High. That's the difference. How about that? Okay, very good. Go ahead, Up.
After the tradition of men.
After the traditions of man. So their philosophy is after the traditions of man. It's the ideology of man. Like Martin Luther King said, the non-violent doctrine. Well, where did he get it from? Where did King get the non-violent doctrine from? Gandhi. A tradition of another man. He didn't say the Most High, right? He said Gandhi. You know, he brought forth his tradition and brought it and gave it to our people and fed it to our people, and our people ran with it. Right? Our people ran with it. You were better off fighting, brother. You were better off fighting. You think I'm gonna lay there and let somebody hit me upside the head with a baseball bat? Them bats hurt. Yeah.
And who wrote his speech? I've been to the mountain.
Yeah, they say that too. See? Philosophies of man. Go ahead, Up.
After the rudiment of the world.
It's after the rudiment of the world. What's Krajala Rhyme? Okay. After the rudiment of the world. How about that? So rudiment meaning, again, the traditions. All right? And the continuation of what man does. Okay, Krajala Rhyme, you're going to come up here. All right, go ahead, Up.
And not after a Mashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, how about that? Not after the Mashiach Yahushua. See? It has to be after the Mashiach Yahushua. Remember when the class was taught the order of Melchizedek? It has to be after that order. That's the Mashiach Yahushua. See? So whenever you don't go according to that order, or the order the Most High laid down in the Bible, then you're worshiping idol gods. You're worshiping the traditions of man. And in essence, you're worshiping Satan. All this is Satan worship. It's just in different forms. Satan ain't going to tell you you're worshiping him. He's going to come in a different form. One minute it's a fat white man with big red in a big suit coming down your chimney. You know what I'm saying? Then another time it's a bunny laying eggs. You know, Satan comes in different forms. All right? And so when it comes in these different forms, but he ain't going to tell you you're worshiping the devil. See? Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Akim, Akwath, Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Osai.